In the heart of medieval France, there once lived a man who seemed destined for greatness. Born in 1405, Gilles de Rais was a celebrated nobleman, a wealthy baron, and a fearless knight who fought alongside the legendary Joan of Arc. He was admired, respected, and, for a time, considered a hero of France. But behind the grandeur of castles and banners, behind the polished armor and titles, lurked one of the darkest monsters Europe had ever known. Gilles de Rais was not remembered for his victories in battle, but for the horrors that unfolded inside his castle walls. He inherited immense wealth and lands, becoming one of the richest men in France. His life was one of excess, lavish feasts, extravagant performances, and displays of power that few could rival. But with wealth came corruption, and with power came depravity. What began as vanity and extravagance soon descended into something far more sinister. Children began to disappear. At first, whispers, then rumors, and finally, accusations. Peasants spoke of boys lured to the castle under promises of food, clothing, or work only to vanish without a trace. Inside, Gilles de Rais indulged in acts so grotesque, so terrifying, that even centuries later, they shock the imagination. He was accused of torturing, abusing, and murdering dozens, perhaps hundreds of children. The very peasants he ruled over became his victims, their families powerless to stop him. His crimes were cloaked in secrecy, hidden behind stone walls, masked by his noble title. But darkness cannot remain hidden forever. By 1440, suspicion had grown too great to ignore. The Duke of Brittany and the Church launched an investigation. When the truth began to emerge, it shattered the image of the once heroic knight. Witnesses described unspeakable scenes of cruelty. Gilles himself, under questioning, confessed to the atrocities. His words confirmed the unimaginable, that a man once hailed as a savior of France was, in reality, a predator feeding on the most innocent. On October 26, 1440, Gilles de Rais faced judgment. Found guilty of heresy, sodomy, and the murder of children, he was sentenced to death. The nobleman was hanged, and then burned, his legacy consumed by the flames. But the question that lingers is not just how many lives he destroyed. It's how a man who stood beside Joan of Arc, who once inspired hope in battle, could become a monster of such unspeakable evil. Was he driven by madness, by obsession, or by the corruption of unchecked power? The story of Gilles de Rais is a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest monsters are not born in darkness, they are created in the halls of power, hiding in plain sight.